If you love playing MTGO, please make sure you check out my sponsors in the description below. Mana Traders, I've got a sweet discount code. Just head there and you can start playing whatever deck you want. Hey guys, Matt from Total MTG here, and today in this week's Deck Tech, I have you a modern brew of mine. Now I did a little tweet this week, I think it was actually, just some modern cards that people wanted me to build around, and the one that took me eye first of all was a Blood Chief Ascension. Blood Chief Ascension is a 1 mana enchantment, which has at the beginning of each end step, if an opponent lost 2 or more life this turn, you put a quest counter on it. Then when the quest counters are up to 3 or more on the Blood Chief Ascension, you may have that player lose 2 life and you gain 2 life whenever a card is put into an opponent's graveyard from anywhere. So, what are we going to do with this deck? Well, we're going to turn it into sort of a black-red discard burn sort of deck. It's going to be very aggro, very low mana costing spells. So let's start off by looking at the creatures. So we start off, we've just got 7 creatures in total, one of Grim Lavamancer. This is a 1/1 just for 1. The ability on it though could really help us out, and it gets that all-important 2 damage to our opponent at any time, their turn or our turn, as long as we have the cards in the graveyard. So you tap 1 red and exile 2 cards from your graveyard. Grim Lavamancer will do 2 damage to target creature or player. So what we'll be doing is obviously attacking that player so they lose that life, and if the quest counters aren't on there, it builds a quest counter on the Blood Chief Ascension, and if not, we could be doing damage as well. We also have 4 Monastery Swiftspear. Like I said, we're going to be aggro. Sometimes maybe the Blood Chief won't work, but we've got a lot of, burn spells in there. This is a Blood Chief burn, as I would say. So Monastery Swiftspear is a great 1-drop, early, haste, get in there. We've got 32 spells in total in this deck, which means we can trigger prowess and basically attack early on and maybe just finish our opponent off with burn or with the Blood Chief Ascension. The next creature we have, which is a 2-of, is our last creature, which is Bedlam Reveler. It does cost 6 double red, but it costs 1 less to cast for each instant and sorcery card in your graveyard, and we have a lot of them. So basically, we will hopefully be playing this for just the double red. It comes in as a 3/4, it has prowess, and when it enters the battlefield, you get to discard your hand, and then you draw 3 cards. So obviously with a lot of low mana costing spells, we might have no cards in hand, so this could literally be a simple draw 3 cards. Or we might have some, 1 card in there that is no good to us, but the Bedlam Reveler then obviously get rid of that card and refill our hand with 3 sweet cards that could be the final bit of burn that we need to finish off our opponent. So now we're going to get on to the 32 spells that we have. Like I said, the deck was built around Blood Chief Ascension, so we've got cards in there that hopefully will interact and do what we need to either get the quest counters on, and once the quest counters are on, get that damage in, and maybe get them to discard cards at the same time. So I can get to the spells first that obviously do with discard for us and can potentially help us out. Burning Inquiry, each player draws 3 cards and then discards 3 cards. So obviously if the Blood Chief Ascension does have those quest counters on, this is going to be very, very good for us. Even, just late game where the opponent will discard those cards and take that damage every time. Really good card for us, Burning Inquiry. Raven's Crime is our next discard spell. This is for 1 mana, target player discards a card. But it also has Retrace, which is very good and potentially late game for us to maybe get that last bit of damage in. The Retrace of this, obviously, if you don't know about Retrace is when you cast this card from your graveyard, you discard a land card in addition to paying its other mana costs. So, we will obviously still have to play the 1 black, but late game, if we just, got a few lands in our hand and they're not obviously going to be doing things, we don't need a lot of lands on the field to cast the majority of our spells. It is a very low mana costing deck. This can help us out and potentially just get those last bits of damage in for us. And we can retrace it with those, we're drawing those extra lands that we don't need. We can discard them, make the opponent discard a card. Hopefully they will have those cards in hand so we can do the damage. The last part of the discard package in the main board is Blightning. Blightning deals 3 damage to target player. Then that player discards 2 cards. It costs 1 black and a red. It's a sorcery speed. It's always just been one of my favourite cards. I don't know why, but I just love Blightning. I love the art on it as well. It was reprinted again in Masters 25. It's just a very, very sweet card. Not only does it do damage, so it helps with the burn package, but it also makes our opponent discard cards, which helps with Blood Chief Ascension. The spots of removal we have a 4 of Fatal Push that can hit any number of creatures in Modern early on. Great, one of the best spells in Modern, I feel. Maybe not as good as the Path to Exiles, but Fatal Push is a very, very sweet card. We also have 3 Terminate, destroy target creature and it can't be generated, instant speed, great removal, black and a red. So now let's get on, see how we're going to do the damage to get these counters up on the Bloodchief Ascension. We have 4 Burst Lightning, instant speed, 1 red mana. It deals 2 damage to target creature or player. Obviously not as good as Lightning Bolt, but it has another thing as well where if it pays kicker price of 4 extra, it does 4 damage to that target instead, which is pretty sweet late game on when we've maybe got a few lands on there. If we've not discarded them, we've got them on the field. This is very good early and late on, and obviously does that all-important 2 damage that we can do to our opponent at end of turn. Obviously the best bolt there is, this is Lightning Bolt, 1 red mana, 3 damage to target creature or player. Yet again, more ways maybe we might have to deal with a creature, but potentially we really want this hitting our opponent. Bloodchief Ascension then gets up and then starts getting more damage in. Magma Jet is there as a 2 of. Not the greatest spell, obviously, because of its cost, but it does have the Scry 2, which I feel is very important as well. It can maybe find that extra card that we need, the extra bit of burn. Maybe we need a bit of creature removal, we need the Fatal Push or Terminate or something like that. Or we need more discard. So Magma Jet can Scry 2, and it does the all-important 2 damage as well. Now we're going to go on to the lands now. We do run 21 lands. Obviously, because we've got Raven's Crime there, we could potentially, with this kind of package, if we took Raven's Crime out, maybe drop to 19, 18 lands and maybe bring some more burning. Maybe after more practice, that's something that I may do. I'm not too sure. But the way the deck's been playing at the moment, it's been working just fine. So we have a quick look at the lands. We've got Blackcleave Cliffs in there, Blood Crypts, Bloodstained Mires for the fetches, and also Marsh Flats because we want to go and get those swamps. Just in case, because we have something in the sideboard that obviously hinders us sometimes when we need that black mana. So we're going to get the Marsh Flats in there just as the extra cover with the Mires so we can go and collect one of our 5 swamps. We also obviously, of course, have 3 mountains. So like I said, we're going to go to the sideboard now. We have a 1 of by force that destroys X target artifacts. It's going to help us out. It's our, you know, it can do X, so we can maybe multiple artifacts are on the field and we need to deal with them. By force can destroy multiples with the amount of mana that we have up. Going to more discard now. We've got 3 Duress and 3 Inquisition of Kozilek's. Disrupt the hand works very well with our Bloodchief Ascension. You could say it might need to be in the main, but we do need that element of burn in there as well, and these cards will be good coming in from the sideboard. 1 Pithing Needles there to help deal with very awkward Planeswalkers. And then we have, like I said, the extra fetches are in there as well because we're going to run Blood Moon in the sideboard. Also Molten Rain. So we have a bit of land disruption. Tron is everywhere at the moment. So Blood Moon is a very good card. And Molten Rain obviously destroys target land and does the all-important 2 damage as well. So it's a very sweet card to come in from the sideboard. Our last sideboard card, just I found this card, I thought it looked pretty cool. I wanted maybe a couple of, but I didn't really have space at the moment, which is Hideous End. It destroys target non-black creature, and all important, its controller loses 2 life as well. So it does cost 1 double black. There's obviously better cards out there, maybe like Hero's Downfall, but they don't have the ability of doing the 2 life as well. So I think this Hideous End is a great little addition to the sideboard. So that is this week's deck tech, guys. Bloodchief, Black Red, Bloodchief Burn. I think it's a really, really fun deck. Maybe, you know, it's not overly expensive. The lands, obviously, you know, with the Bloodstained Mires and that do bump those prices up. But I think, you know, if you want to try this out, it is a really good fun deck. If you like burn and you like a bit of hand disruption and you like, really annoying your opponents, because this deck probably will. No one likes hand disruption. When I tried testing this deck, you play it straight away. Some people just quit because that's what they do. But that is a problem with MTGO when you're trying to test decks unless you're paying to go to the leagues. But this deck is really, really fun. Get in there, burn up there. And if you can just get those counters on the Bloodchief Ascension and it stays on the field, it is just brilliant to do the damage. And then you just gain life as well. So when creatures are attacking you, Bloodchief Ascension does help you that way as well. Because not only we obviously were doing it to affect our opponents to gain, to take their life away, it does gain us life. And life, it's very important when you're playing Magic. So this little thing, it will help you out. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think of the deck and anything you think should be in there, anything you think I've missed, or anything that I think it just make it better. If any of you do play it, put it together, let me know how you get on. And when testing, maybe you found cards that are good in it, found cards that are bad in it. But all in all, I really like this deck. Now, if you want to see some gameplay from it, if this video gets up to 30 likes, I will record some gameplay with it. So that, that's something for you. If you do, It's all important to us. Hit that, smash that like button, and then I'll record some gameplay for you. If you are doing to us, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Really does help. I'm heading towards 4,000 subs very slowly. Once I get there, I'll do another sweet giveaway. Anyway, thanks for taking time to watch the video, guys, and I'll see you on the next one.